back to Star News as we join you now with breaking news at this hour. Sad story as we can tell you now that there's an accident on Blackberry Road that happened just a short time ago in the Bassett area of Henry County that has resulted in a fatality. Our own Bob Sharp joins us by phone. And Bob, you were there on the scene. This is a pretty dramatic accident and one that is not easy to see.
You know, it really isn't, and we're fortunate, I guess you would say, that someone spotted it, but obviously a devastating situation. Someone did die in an accident. We don't have any details. You can see from the video, it was kind of an isolated situation. There were no black marks, no skid marks. We did talk to somebody that said there was someone that came by and said someone was walking up the road. One would have to wonder maybe if they were not trying to possibly avoiding hitting a pedestrian or something. Obviously a tragedy.
Indeed, and you know, what's troubling here, you know, it's thankful at least that someone witnessed the accident. That didn't save the individual's life, but at least you know, they didn't have to linger there for any length of time. There's so much overgrowth here that, you know, you could easily drive right by here and not even see this accident if you didn't know it was there.
Well, that's right. And, you know, I was there. I was taking some photographs, and I can't tell you what kind of vehicle it was.
Indeed, it's hard to tell. Looking at the tires, it looks like maybe it was a pickup truck or some kind of a small SUV, but it's really hard to tell looking at it from the vantage point there on the side of the road. What was the demeanor there amongst the folks? I know it's often difficult. These emergency workers, they have to keep on, and you know, they have a job to do there, but I know it's tough whenever they're dealing with what they know is a fatality.
It was. I met several young people there, and you know, it affects everybody that goes to the scene of an accident like that. It just does something to you when you know someone has died. It was hot. Of course, it's not the 100-degree temperature, but it's still hot out there, and they were, you know, trying to hydrate and trying to do what they could do, which was in a whole lot situation that it was. But it affects everybody on the scene. That's the best way I can put it. And it affects each individual in a different way because of, you know, what you see, what you experience. But just the fact that you go to something like that, you know, someone's lost their life is a real tragedy.
And back to what we were talking about a little bit before, it's somewhat puzzling. Of course, we'll have to wait for the state police to finish their investigation before we know for certain, but it's really hard to ascertain what may have happened here because there doesn't appear to be any good cause for an accident, none of the typical things we would think about, and not even really any skid marks that we could detect there on the scene. So rather puzzling as to what may have happened here. I suppose it could have been a medical condition or perhaps a brake on the vehicle. It's really hard to say at this point.
Well, I think you're right, Scott. It could very well have been a medical condition, and we probably won't know until, you know, maybe an autopsy or something will determine the cause of death. But it was one of those accident scenes that you see that just makes no sense. Is the best way I can put it.
And of course, at this point in time, we really don't even know for certain which direction the vehicle was traveling in, do we?
Yeah, I did. It was going up the hill on Blackberry, and just veered to the left and went off in that. There's a little curve right there and just went over in the embankment.
Just doing this interview with Rodney Howell, the county fire
involved. Tell me what else we might know.
Basically, all we know, we got one vehicle involved, and it's upside down, right. And you know, they're preparing to do extrication.
Right. Are they talking with the victim right now? I mean,
I'm not exactly sure. I don't think so. Okay. I don't believe they're talking at all.
Obviously, it appears to be one car involved, and so forth. Any more you can tell us?
It's going to be a lengthy process. The vehicle pretty well tore up right there, and right. It's going to take a while to do the extrication.
So there you have it, folks. An interview with the fire marshal in Henry County, Rodney Howell. Also a report there from Bob Sharp on that incident. We will continue to bring you coverage and updates as they become available. The state police investigating in this case. We can tell you for certain a fatality there in this tragic car accident that took place earlier this afternoon on Blackberry Road in Henry County. Stay with us. We'll be back with more here on Star News in just a moment.
$30,000. Your price, $20. Can you tell the difference? Even expert jewelers have a difficult time